Okay, so we finished up in our last video. We made our table of values for the problem. And I'm going to bring that table of values over here and I'm going to paste it down here. So can we create an equation for this problem? And most of our equations are going to be written as something, something is equal to something times a letter plus or minus another letter. So for this equation, the cost is going to equal something times a letter. And in this, it's going to be the number of people. And I made a mistake up here. It's not a letter, it's an amount. Plus or minus an amount. All right? So in this one, we're adding an amount, and the amount that gets added on every time is $30. Now, what do we multiply by the number of people? The number of people gets multiplied by 3. So in this equation, the cost is equal to $3 times the number of people plus $30. And sometimes coming up with the equation is the hardest thing to do. But if we think about it, this is this is the total that we're going to come up with. This is our y value over here, okay? So sometimes we call it something else in grade 8. As you move through school, more and more often it will be called y, but we need to understand that it can be any letter, and this amount, the number of people, is our x value. All right, and our equation for this is c is equal to 3 times n plus 30. Now, can we create a graph for this? Let's think back to what we know about graphing. We are going to be graphing for this. We're going to be graphing in 4 quadrants. So we need to divide our graph paper, and you are going to need some graph paper for this. We're going to divide it into 4 quadrants. Whoops, here we go. All right, and then I'm going to hopefully, no, that didn't work, it's too big. I'm going to start to think about, this is where my C is going to be. Nope, this is where the number of people is going to be, and this is where my cost is going to be. All right, this is where I would normally have X on my graph, and this is where I would normally have Y, just to help you get oriented. And I'm going to, my numbers are going up, I had them go up by 5s and 10s, so I'm going to have my numbers go up by 5s. Now the thing to remember is that the interval between the numbers has to remain the same. So, and I'm writing on the lines, not the spaces. So I'm going up by 5s each time. And I started at 0, 5, 10, 15, 20. Now this time I'm going to go up by 10s because I know these numbers are going to be quite a bit bigger. And I have a feeling I'm not going to get all of my amounts on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to drag this line down here a little bit. And I'm going to drag all of these numbers down. And I'm going to drag all of these numbers down just so I can, that was 80, this will be 90, 100, 110, and 120 right at the top. And that might give me enough space. All right, I'm going to go back. And if I was putting negative numbers on, it would go -5, -10, -15, -20. But I know that when I'm booking a party, the cost of the party is never going to be a negative number. And there's never going to be a negative number of people coming to my party. So I'm going to create my graph this way, but I really only need to include the numbers that are positive for this particular graph. All right, I'm going to go back and pick up my first ordered pair, which is 10 and 60. And I'm going to write 10 and 60 here to remind myself. And then I'm going to graph it. So here's my n value, 10, and I'm going to go up to 60, and this time I'm going to change to red just to make it easier for you to see. 10, I'm going to click over here, 10 and 60, and I'm going to make a red dot, and I'm going to put 10 and 60 here. I'm going to go back here and pick up my next set of ordered pairs, 15 and 75. I'm going to put them down here, 15. Remember that we always write our x value first and our y value second. So then I'm going to go here to 15, follow this all the way up. There is no 75, so I have to do a really good estimate right in the middle between 70 and 80. And I've got, 15 and 75. Go back and pick up my next set of ordered pairs, 20 and 90. I'm going to put them down here, 20. I'm just timing myself, just one moment. 20 and 90. Put them on here, 20, go up to 90. And I've got 20 and 90, and go back and pick up my last set of ordered pairs. Oh no, I've got 30 and 120, and they're going to be the last ones that I can graph. So I've got 30 and 120. And I'm going to go here to 30 and go all the way up. Here is 30 and 120. And I'm going to stop the video after this, and we will come back.